Chosen one. Why are you still broke when you've been faithful? Why does your mailbox deliver bills but never blessings? Why does it feel like heaven keeps sending checks to every address on your street except yours? Stop. Don't scroll. Don't move. Something just happened in the spiritual realm the moment your eyes landed here. This wasn't the algorithm, sweetheart. This was alignment. Heaven interrupted your Saturday morning because there's a financial appointment scheduled in the spirit, and your name is written on it. Listen to me carefully. What I'm about to tell you will shake the foundations of everything you believed about your money, your waiting, and your worth. This Saturday is not normal. I don't mean it's special. I mean it's scheduled, marked, circled in heaven's calendar since before you drew your first breath. And if you miss what God is trying to release over your finances this weekend, you may spend another decade circling the same mountain of lack. You've been like a plane running low on fuel, circling the runway for 40, 50, 60 years, watching others land while the control tower stays silent. But beloved, I heard something in my spirit at 3:47 this morning that brought me to my knees. The tower is finally clearing you to land. But only if you're awake enough to hear the instruction. Before we finish today, I'm going to tell you the one thing you must do before sunrise Saturday to position yourself for this shift. Miss it, and the blessing passes your address again. Receive it, and generational poverty dies with this weekend. Before I go deeper, I want to pause and thank every single one of you who has supported this message through super thanks. Your generosity means more than you know. You're not just giving. You're helping spread this light to others who feel forgotten in their financial struggle. Whether you sow a seed or not, I'm deeply grateful for your presence here. Your time, your attention, your open heart, it all matters. But right now, I need you to understand something that will change everything. Money isn't just money. It's assignment. It's alignment. It's divine timing wrapped in paper and coins. And this Saturday, heaven is releasing financial shifts that will only be visible to those who are spiritually awake. The question burning in my spirit is this: will you be ready when it arrives, or will you be asleep at the moment of your miracle? If something is already stirring in your chest, if your spirit is trembling with recognition right now, type "I'm listening" in the comments. Don't hesitate. Agreement activates what heaven has already released. Stay with me until the very end, chosen one. There's an instruction coming that cannot be skipped. Your financial future depends on the next few minutes. How many years have you been faithful and still broke? How many tithes have you given with trembling hands, wondering if you'd make rent that month? How many prayers have you whispered into ceilings that felt like concrete, asking God why does everyone else seem to catch their blessing while yours keeps getting lost in the mail? Let me ask you something that might cut deep, beloved. Have you ever sat at your kitchen table at 2 in the morning, calculator in hand, trying to figure out which bill to pay and which one to let slide? Have you ever watched someone half your age drive past in a brand new car while you're still nursing that same vehicle you've had for 15 years, praying it starts one more time? That's not just frustration, that's a wound. A wound that's been bleeding quietly for decades while you smiled at church and told everyone you were blessed. But I see you, chosen one. I really see you. You've done everything right. You've tithed when tithing hurt. You've sowed seeds when your own garden was barren. You've believed, declared, confessed, fasted, and prayed until your knees have permanent carpet marks. And still you're looking at a bank account that doesn't reflect a single miracle. And the enemy has been whispering the same lie to you for years. God forgot about you. You missed your window. You're too old now. It's over. But I'm here to tell you something that's going to shatter that lie into a million pieces. Your delay was never abandonment. It was architecture. Let me explain what I mean, and I need you to lean in close, because this is going to change how you see every single year you thought was wasted. Think about Moses. 80 years old, 80, when God finally said, "Now I'm ready to use you." For 40 years, that man was hiding in the wilderness, tending somebody else's sheep, probably wondering if that burning call he felt in his youth was just heartburn. But here's what Moses didn't know while he was waiting. God wasn't punishing him. God was protecting him. Every year in that desert was building something in Moses that the palace never could. Humility, dependence, the kind of character that could handle the weight of leading 2 million people through impossible situations. Your wilderness has been building the same thing in you. Abraham was 75 when God called him, but he didn't hold Isaac, the promised son, the fulfillment of everything, until he was 100 years old. 25 years of waiting. 25 years of Sarah's empty womb mocking the promise. 25 years of wondering if he heard God correctly. But Genesis 21:2 says, Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised him. At the very time, not early, not late, at the very time. Your blessing has a timestamp on it, beloved, and that timestamp is this Saturday. But here's what I need you to understand about why God delays financial breakthrough, and this might be the most important thing you hear all week. Sometimes God keeps your blessing locked in a vault because the environment outside isn't safe yet. Think about it. If God had released your financial miracle 10 years ago, would you have been ready? Would you have had the wisdom to steward it? Would the people around you have tried to devour it before it could multiply? Would your own habits have sabotaged what heaven was building? God doesn't just release blessings. He releases blessings into prepared vessels at prepared moments. Job lost everything: his children, his wealth, his health, his reputation. His own wife told him to curse God and die. His friends accused him of secret sin. For months he sat in ashes, scraping his sores, wondering what he did to deserve such devastation. But Job 42:10 delivers the knockout punch. After Job had prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. Twice as much. Not just restoration, multiplication. Not just recovery, overflow. And notice when it happened: after the process was complete, after the character was built, after the preparation was finished. You've been in your Job season, haven't you? You've lost things that should have broken you. You've sat in ashes that no one else could see. You've endured accusations from people who didn't understand your story. But your double portion has been accruing interest in heaven's vault this entire time. Do you know the real reason God delays financial blessing? It's not what you think. It's not punishment. It's not rejection. It's not even about your worthiness. It's about timing so precise that when your breakthrough arrives, no devil in hell can claim credit for it. No human can say they made it happen. No circumstance can steal the glory from the one who orchestrated every delay to position you for this exact moment. I'm going to reveal exactly what that timing looks like and why this Saturday is different from every other Saturday you've ever lived, in just a moment. But first, I need to know something. If you've ever felt forgotten by God, if you've ever wondered why your address keeps getting skipped when blessings are being delivered, if you've ever laid awake at night questioning whether your faithfulness even matters anymore, type "That's me" in the comments right now. You're not alone, beloved. And what I'm about to show you will prove that God never forgot you for a single second. He was just waiting for this Saturday. Now listen to me carefully, chosen one, because what I'm about to reveal will unlock a mystery you've been living inside your entire life without even knowing it. You've been operating on the wrong clock. For decades, maybe your whole life, you've been measuring God's promises by calendars and clocks. January, February, March, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You've been counting days like a prisoner, marking walls, wondering when your sentence of financial struggle will finally end. But here's what nobody told you. Heaven doesn't run on chronological time. Heaven runs on Kairos time. What's the difference? Chronological time is the ticking of seconds, the turning of pages on a calendar. It's human time, ordinary time, the kind of time that makes you feel like you're running out of it. But Kairos is God's time. It's the appointed moment, the divine intersection, the instant when eternity crashes into your Tuesday afternoon and nothing is ever the same again. Ecclesiastes 3:1 declares it plainly, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven." A time, not just any time, the time, your Kairos moment. And beloved, this Saturday is yours. But why Saturday? Why not Monday or Thursday or 3 weeks from now? Let me show you something that will shake you to your foundation. In Scripture, Saturday the Sabbath was never just about rest. It was about release. It was the day God completed His work and declared it finished. Genesis 2:2 says, "And on the seventh day God ended His work which He had made, and He rested." Did you catch that? He ended His work. He completed the cycle. He closed one chapter so another could begin. This Saturday marks the completion of a spiritual financial cycle over your life. A cycle of lack that has held your family hostage for generations. A cycle of almost but not quite. A cycle of watching others receive while you wait. That cycle has an expiration date, and that date is this Saturday. But there's something deeper happening here. Something most believers never understand about divine timing. You see, God moves in patterns. He's not random, He's not chaotic, He's precise, and one of His most powerful patterns is this. Breakthrough comes after the preparation. Think about it. Friday in the Jewish calendar was preparation day. It was the day you got ready for what was coming. You cleaned your house, you prepared your heart, you positioned yourself for the sacred. And then Saturday arrived, and everything shifted. Jesus understood this pattern. He was crucified on Friday, the day of preparation. But resurrection came after the Sabbath. The greatest financial shift in human history, the transfer of power from death to life, from poverty to abundance, from curse to blessing. It all happened on God's timetable, not man's. Your financial resurrection has been waiting for this Saturday. Let me paint you a picture that will make this crystal clear. Finances move like tides. When the moon pulls, the water responds. It's not random, it's not accidental, it's cosmic law. And when heaven shifts the water, when God pulls on the tide of provision, everything left on the shore is revealed. Every blessing that's been stuck, every check that's been lost in the mail, every opportunity that passed you by, every inheritance that was stolen. When the tide shifts this Saturday, it all gets exposed. It all becomes accessible. It all comes rushing toward the shore of your life. But only if you're standing on that shore, only if you're positioned, only if you're awake. Here's what's going to shake some of you. This isn't just about money appearing in your account. This is about assignment being released over your life. Because in God's economy, finances follow function, money follows mission, provision follows purpose. This Saturday, God isn't just shifting your bank balance, He's shifting your assignment. He's releasing resources for the calling He placed on your life before you were born. The ministry you thought died, the business idea you buried, the generational blessing you gave up on, it's all connected to this Saturday. But I need to warn you about something, and this is urgent. There will be signs. 3 specific signs that will manifest between Friday midnight and Saturday noon. Signs that will confirm this shift is moving toward your address. Signs that, if you recognize them, will tell you exactly how to position yourself to receive what heaven is releasing. I'm going to reveal all 3 signs in detail before we finish today. But first, you need to understand something that will determine whether this Saturday becomes your breakthrough or just another day you scroll past on your phone. The tide is turning whether you're ready or not. Heaven's schedule doesn't wait for human hesitation. The question isn't whether God will move this Saturday. The question is whether you'll be awake enough to see it, positioned enough to receive it, and bold enough to claim it. Psalm 102:13 promises, "Thou shalt arise and have mercy upon Zion, for the time to favor her, yea, the set time is come." The set time, the appointed moment, the Kairos window. It's here, chosen one. It's this Saturday. But what happens if you're not prepared? What happens if the shift arrives and you're still sleeping in doubt? What happens if heaven sends provision but your hands aren't open to receive it? That's exactly what I'm going to show you next, the 3 signs you cannot afford to miss. If you're ready to know what they are, type "ready" for the shift in the comments right now. Because what I'm about to reveal will separate those who recognize their moment from those who let it pass them by. The tide is turning. Can you feel the water moving? Now listen to me carefully. Chosen one, because what I'm about to reveal will answer a question that's been haunting you for decades. Why them and not you? Why does your neighbor drive a new car while yours barely starts? Why does your cousin take vacations while you clip coupons? Why do people half your age, with half your faith, seem to stumble into opportunities that should have found you first? You've been tithing since Nixon was in office. You've been praying since your knees had cartilage. You've given when you couldn't afford to give, believed when believing hurt, stayed faithful when walking away would have been easier. And still, the blessing seems to knock on every door but yours. Let me tell you something that's going to shatter everything you thought you knew about how heaven distributes wealth. God doesn't just give money, He assigns it. You see, beloved, there's a divine postal system operating in the spiritual realm right now. Heaven has been trying to deliver a package to your address for years, maybe decades. But every time the celestial courier arrives, no one answers the door. Not because you weren't home, but because you didn't know you needed to sign for it. Financial blessing isn't random. It's not luck. It's not even reward for good behavior. It's strategic deployment of kingdom resources to qualified carriers. And tonight, I'm going to show you the 3 qualifications heaven looks for before marking someone for wealth transfer. The first qualification: kingdom assignment. Here's a truth that might sting. Money doesn't chase need. Money chases assignment. Proverbs 13:22 declares, "The wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just." But why the just? Because the just have assignments that require funding. Think about it. When God needed to build the tabernacle, He didn't pass a collection plate. Exodus 36:5 tells us the people brought so much that Moses had to command them to stop giving. Why? Because there was a divine assignment that required divine provision. You've been asking God for money, but have you asked Him what the money is for? Heaven doesn't fund retirement. Heaven funds revival. Heaven doesn't bankroll comfort. Heaven bankrolls calling. The moment you shift from God, bless my account, to God, use my account, everything changes. That financial shift coming this Saturday. It's not coming to pad your savings. It's coming because there's a mission attached to your name that's been waiting for its budget to arrive. The second qualification: spiritual maturity. Now here's where it gets personal. For every senior listening to my voice, you think your age is your limitation. God says your age is your qualification. Let me ask you something that's going to hit deep. Why do you think you're still here? You've buried friends. You've survived diagnoses that should have taken you out. You've walked through valleys that would have destroyed younger believers. And you're still standing. That's not luck, sweetheart. That's selection. Hebrews 5:14 says, "Solid food belongs to those who are mature, who by constant use have trained themselves to distinguish good from evil." You've been in training. Every financial struggle, every sleepless night, every moment you chose faith over fear, that was God testing whether you could handle the weight of what He's about to release. Young believers want money for lifestyle. Mature believers want money for legacy. And God has been watching, waiting, testing, until He found someone whose character could carry the currency. That someone is you. The third qualification: generational restoration. But here's the revelation that's going to break something loose in your spirit tonight. Your blessing isn't just for you. It's for everyone connected to your bloodline. Joel 2:25 promises, "I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten." But notice it doesn't say, "I will restore to you." It says, "I will restore to you," meaning through you, blessing flows backward and forward through generations. Your grandfather carried shame about money. Your mother lived in lack. Your children are struggling right now. But God looked down your family line and said, I need someone who's been tested enough, faithful enough, and alive long enough to receive what I'm about to pour out. The blessing had to find the one who survived. That's you, chosen one. You're not the end of your family's financial struggle. You're the end of the curse and the beginning of the restoration. Heaven's delivery service has been searching for a qualified recipient in your bloodline. Someone mature enough to steward it. Someone mission-minded enough to deploy it. Someone who's been through enough fire to handle the weight of generational wealth. The package has arrived. But before you can sign for it, there's something blocking 90% of believers from receiving what's already been sent. In part 7, I'm going to reveal the one invisible barrier that's been returning your blessing to sender for years. And I'm warning you now, this might be the most uncomfortable truth you've heard in decades. But it could also be the key that unlocks everything. If this is speaking directly to your situation, if you feel heaven confirming these words in your spirit right now, don't stay silent. Comment below. I receive what God has for me. Declare it. Speak it. Let heaven and earth hear your agreement. Because what's coming next will require you to be fully awake, fully engaged, and fully ready to remove the final obstacle standing between you and the financial shift that's been scheduled for this Saturday. Are you ready to discover what's been blocking your blessing? Now I need you to lean in close, chosen one, because what I'm about to expose will make you angry, and it should. You've been lied to. For decades, you've believed your financial struggle was your fault. You've blamed yourself. You've questioned your faith. You've laid awake at 2 a.m. wondering what you did wrong, why tithing didn't work, why the promises in Scripture seem to land on everyone's doorstep but yours. But what if I told you that your poverty was never about your performance? What if your lack had nothing to do with your faith and everything to do with a war being waged against you in realms you cannot see? Ephesians 6:12 rips the veil off this mystery. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Did you catch that? Your battle was never against the economy, never against your age, never against your education or your zip code. Your battle has been against principalities, demonic forces, assigned specifically to your bloodline, working overtime to ensure that you never step into the financial authority God promised you. This is spiritual warfare, beloved, and you've been fighting blind. You thought you were walking through financial fog, just bad luck, bad timing, bad breaks. But that wasn't fog, that was battlefield smoke. The enemy has been throwing up a cloud of confusion around your money for years, hoping you'd stumble through the darkness until you finally gave up. But you didn't give up, did you? You're still here, still believing, still fighting. And that terrifies hell. Let me tell you why the enemy specifically targets seniors with financial warfare. This isn't random. This is strategy. He attacks your finances late in life because he knows something about you that you may have forgotten about yourself. He knows that blessed seniors are the most dangerous people on earth to his kingdom. Think about it. Who gives more generously to churches and ministries than anyone else? Seniors. Who mentors the younger generation and passes down wisdom that shapes nations? Seniors. Who holds families together with prayer, with presence, with sacrificial love? Seniors. When you have money, you become a kingdom threat. When you have resources, you fund revivals. When you walk in financial abundance, you shift entire households from poverty to purpose. The enemy cannot allow that. So he's been running an operation against your wallet, your bank account, your retirement fund, not because you're weak, but because you're powerful. Not because God forgot you, but because hell remembers exactly what you're capable of. Isaiah 54:17 thunders from heaven with this promise: no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. No weapon. Not some weapons, not most weapons. No weapon. That includes the weapon of financial lack. That includes the weapon of unexpected bills. That includes the weapon of medical debt designed to drain your last reserves. None of it shall prosper. But here's where it gets urgent, and I need you to hear me clearly. The enemy knows this Saturday is marked for your breakthrough. He's known about this date longer than you have. And right now, even as you're listening to these words, he's scheming, he's planning distractions, he's preparing offenses, he's setting traps designed to make you miss your moment. There is one mistake that could cause you to miss this Saturday window entirely. One error that could disqualify you from receiving what heaven has already released. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is before we finish, but not yet. You need to understand the full weight of what's happening first. Because this isn't just about money, chosen one. This is about your assignment. This is about the calling that's been sitting dormant inside you, waiting for resources to activate it. This is about the ministry you were supposed to fund, the grandchild you were supposed to help, the legacy you were supposed to leave. Every year the enemy has stolen from you financially. He wasn't just taking money, he was taking time. He was taking impact. He was taking the fruit of your faithfulness. But God is a God of restoration. Joel 2:25 promises, I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten. And I'm here to tell you that Saturday isn't just about a blessing, it's about a payback. A divine reimbursement for every dollar hell has stolen, every opportunity poverty has blocked, every dream financial pressure has suffocated. The fog is lifting, the battlefield is becoming clear, and for the first time in decades, you can see the enemy's position, which means you can finally fight back with precision. If you're still watching right now, that's not coincidence, that's confirmation. Your spirit recognized this word before your mind caught up. Type 777 inches, the comments right now. Agreement breaks resistance. Let heaven see you standing in faith. And please, like this video so the algorithm doesn't bury this message from others who are trapped in the same fog you've been walking through. Someone else needs this word tonight. But stay with me, beloved, because understanding the war is only the beginning. Now, I'm going to show you how God has been secretly preparing your victory even when you thought he was silent. Now listen to me very carefully, chosen one, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you experience this Saturday forever. You've been asking God for a sign your whole life, haven't you? Lying awake at 2 a.m., staring at that ceiling, whispering into the darkness, Lord, just show me something. Give me a sign that you haven't forgotten me, that my breakthrough is real, that I'm not just fooling myself with faith. But what if I told you that God has been sending signs your entire life, and you've been missing them because nobody taught you what to look for? Malachi 3:10 says, Test me in this, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing there will not be room enough to store it. But beloved, before floodgates open, there are always tremors. Before the dam breaks, there are always cracks. Before the harvest arrives, there are always shoots pushing through the soil. The shift doesn't announce itself with trumpets and fireworks, it whispers first. And this Saturday, if you know what to look for, you'll catch it before it passes you by. Let me give you the 3 signs that heaven is about to restructure your finances. Write these down. Tattoo them on your spirit, because missing these signs has cost God's people decades of wandering in financial wilderness. The first sign: sudden emotional peace. Here's what's going to shock you. The first sign isn't a check in the mail. It isn't a phone call from a lawyer saying you inherited millions. The first sign is internal, not external. You're going to wake up Saturday morning or maybe Friday night and something will feel different. You'll think about your bills, your bank account, that social security check that never stretches far enough. And instead of the usual knot in your stomach, there will be calm. Strange, unexplainable calm. You'll check your balance and the number won't have changed, but your response to it will. The panic that's lived in your chest for 40 years will suddenly feel lighter. That's not denial, beloved. That's divine preparation. Philippians 4:7 calls it the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. It guards your heart before the blessing guards your bank account. Why? Because God always prepares the vessel before He fills it. Have you ever poured hot coffee into a cold glass? It shatters. God won't pour million-dollar purpose into a spirit still gripped by poverty-level panic. The peace comes first to prepare you for the provision. If you feel that peace settling over you this weekend, don't dismiss it. Don't explain it away. That's sign number 1. The second sign: unexpected communication. Now this is where it gets supernatural. Within 72 hours of this Saturday, you're going to receive communication you didn't initiate. It might be a phone call from someone you haven't heard from in years. It might be an email about a refund you forgot you were owed. It might be a letter from an agency, a message from a distant relative, an opportunity that finds you instead of you chasing it. Here's what I need you to understand. God's provision almost always travels through people. The ravens that fed Elijah didn't manufacture bread, God directed them. The widow's oil didn't appear from nowhere, it multiplied what she already had through prophetic instruction. Your financial shift isn't falling from the sky, beloved. It's being rooted through a relationship, a phone call, a conversation that seems ordinary but carries extraordinary weight. When that unexpected communication arrives, and it will, don't brush it off as coincidence. Coincidence is just God choosing to remain anonymous. The third sign: a shift in your atmosphere. This is the one that will bring tears to your eyes if you've experienced it before. You know that heaviness you carry, that invisible weight on your shoulders that makes getting out of bed feel like climbing Everest. That fog in your mind that turns every decision into exhaustion. It's going to lift, not gradually. Suddenly, you'll feel lighter, clearer, more focused than you've felt in months, maybe years. Like someone opened a window in a room that's been sealed shut since 1987. That's not just emotional relief, that's atmospheric warfare. That's the principalities and powers that have been blocking your blessing, finally being pushed back by angelic assignment. Daniel 10:12-1-3 shows us that Daniel's answer was released the moment he prayed, but it took 21 days to arrive because a spiritual battle was being fought in the heavens. Your blessing may have been released years ago, beloved. This Saturday might simply be when the spiritual battle finally breaks and what's been held up in the heavens finally lands in your living room. The dawn metaphor. Think about sunrise for a moment. You don't see the sun appear all at once. First, the darkness loosens. The black becomes gray. The gray becomes purple. The purple becomes pink. And only then does the golden edge of the sun peek over the horizon. Your financial shift works the same way. The peace is the darkness loosening. The unexpected communication is the purple turning pink. The atmospheric shift is the first ray of gold. And what comes after? Full daylight, full provision, full manifestation of what God promised you before you were born. But here's what's haunting my spirit right now, and we need to address it before we move forward. Even if you experience all three signs, the peace, the communication, the atmospheric shift, there is still one thing that can block your financial breakthrough from fully manifesting. One obstacle that has stopped more chosen ones than poverty ever could. And we need to talk about that next. Because if this blockage isn't removed before Saturday, you could have heaven's provision sitting at your doorstep and still not be able to open the door. But first, I need to hear from you. If you've ever experienced one of these signs before, maybe years ago, maybe last week, and you didn't recognize it until right now, tell me in the comments. I remember. Let heaven know you're finally paying attention. Now listen to me carefully, chosen one, because what I'm about to say might be the most important thing you hear all year. You've been praying for financial breakthrough. You've been tithing when your bank account was crying. You've been faithful when faithfulness cost you everything, and yet the blessing hasn't arrived. Why? Here's the truth that's going to cut you wide open. The problem isn't God's willingness to give. The problem is your willingness to receive. You believe in God's power. I know you do. You've seen Him move mountains for other people. You've watched him open doors for your neighbor, your sister, your friend from church. You've witnessed miracles happen all around you. But deep down, in that quiet place where nobody else can hear, you don't believe you're worthy to receive it yourself. Do you? Be honest with me right now. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and truly believed that God wanted you to be wealthy? When was the last time you pictured yourself with more than enough and didn't immediately feel guilty about it? That hesitation you just felt, that's the block. Let me take you somewhere painful for a moment. Go back with me, back to that moment when someone you trusted told you that you'd never amount to anything. Maybe it was a parent. Maybe it was a spouse. Maybe it was a teacher who looked at a young dreamer and said, "Be realistic." That word realistic became a curse over your finances. Or maybe it was something you did, a mistake in your 20s that you've never forgiven yourself for, a failed business, a broken marriage, a decision that cost your family everything. And somewhere in the wreckage, you made an agreement with shame. You said, "I don't deserve good things anymore." Beloved, that agreement is still active. Proverbs 23:7 tells us plainly, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as a man prays, not as a man hopes, as a man thinketh." Your internal beliefs are creating your external reality. And right now, your heart is convinced that abundance belongs to everyone except you. Do you understand what this means? Heaven has been writing checks with your name on them for decades. Angels have been dispatched with financial breakthrough addressed specifically to your life. But every single time that blessing arrives at your door, your mail slot is closed. Unworthiness welded it shut. God is standing on the other side, envelope in hand, saying, "Open up, child, this is yours." But you can't hear him through the walls you've built. Walls made of guilt, walls made of shame, walls made of every voice that ever told you that you weren't enough. Let me ask you something that might shake you. How many blessings have you returned to sender without even knowing it? How many financial miracles have knocked on your door while you pretended not to be home? How many times has God tried to promote you, but you disqualified yourself before he could even finish speaking? The enemy didn't have to steal your blessing. He just convinced you that you didn't deserve it. Isaiah 1:19 declares, "If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land." Most people focus on the obedience, but God put willing first, because he knows that the battle isn't in your actions, it's in your acceptance. You can obey all day long and still starve if you're not willing to receive what obedience produces. You've been obedient, haven't you? You've given when you had nothing to give. You've served when nobody thanked you. You've stayed faithful when walking away would have been easier. But willing? Willing to actually receive abundance without guilt. That's where the breakdown happens. Here's what I need you to understand, chosen one. Poverty isn't just a financial condition, it's a spiritual agreement. And somewhere along the way, maybe when you were 7, maybe when you were 37, you signed a contract with lack. You said, "This is all I deserve. This is all I'll ever have. This is my portion." That contract expires today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because this Saturday, when that financial shift arrives, it's going to need somewhere to land. And if your hands are closed, if your heart is guarded, if your spirit is still whispering, "Not me," not ever, the blessing will pass you by again. I refuse to let that happen to you. Right now, wherever you are, I need you to do something radical. Open your hands. Physically open them. Look at those palms that have worked so hard, given so much, and received so little. Now say this out loud with me. I break agreement with lack. I break agreement with unworthiness. I break agreement with every voice that told me I don't deserve God's best. I open my hands. I open my heart. I open my spirit to receive what heaven has been holding for me. Did you feel that shift? That wasn't just words, beloved. That was warfare. You just tore up a contract that's been limiting your life for decades. Type in the comments right now, "I break every block." Let heaven see your declaration. Let the angels record your agreement. Let the enemy know that his grip on your finances just ended. Because here's what happens next, and this is crucial. Once the block is broken, you have to be positioned to receive. And what I'm about to reveal will show you exactly how to stand in the right place when Saturday's shift arrives. Now listen to me carefully, chosen one, because what I'm about to reveal will explain everything you've been feeling lately. That strange restlessness keeping you awake at 2 a.m., that heaviness in your chest that has no medical explanation, that feeling like something massive is about to happen but you can't put your finger on what. You thought something was wrong with you. You thought maybe it was your age catching up. Maybe depression creeping in. Maybe just another sleepless night in a lifetime of sleepless nights. But what if I told you nothing is wrong with you? What if I told you everything is finally right? Because here's what the enemy doesn't want you to understand. Every major shift in Scripture was preceded by spiritual turbulence. Every breakthrough in the Bible came with a warning tremor. Every deliverance was announced first in the Spirit before it manifested in the natural. Think about the Israelites in Egypt. Before Moses ever showed up, before the plagues ever fell, before Pharaoh ever said, "Let my people go," something was stirring in the slave quarters. Whispers, rumors, a strange electricity in the air that made the taskmasters nervous and the Hebrew mothers hold their children a little tighter. They didn't know freedom was 72 hours away, but their spirits knew something was shifting. Think about David hiding in those caves, running for his life from King Saul. 1 Samuel 23 tells us David was in the wilderness of Ziph, and his soul was troubled. He couldn't sleep, he couldn't eat. Every sound made him jump. But what looked like paranoia was actually preparation. His spirit was sensing what his mind couldn't comprehend. The throne was closer than it had ever been. The pressure wasn't breaking him, it was positioning him. And Job, oh beloved, think about Job. After losing everything, his children, his wealth, his health, his reputation, there came a season of devastating silence. His friends stopped arguing. The accusations ceased. Heaven went quiet. Job 37:1 says, "At this my heart pounds and leaps from its place." His chest was stirred. His spirit was unsettled. Why? Because double portion was 24 hours away, and his soul could feel the weight of restoration approaching before his eyes could see it. Now let me ask you something that's going to cut straight to your heart. Have you been feeling that same stirring lately? Has sleep been lighter than usual? Have you been waking up at odd hours with your mind racing about nothing and everything at once? Has your chest felt tight, not with pain, but with something you can't name? Have you found yourself crying for no reason, praying prayers that don't have words, feeling both hopeful and terrified at the same time? Beloved, that's not anxiety, that's alignment. That's not your nerves failing you. That's your spirit recognizing what your natural mind cannot yet comprehend. Heaven already made the move. Your spirit is just catching up to the tremor. You see, in the natural world, when an earthquake happens, the initial shock travels faster than the damage we see. Scientists call this the P wave, the primary wave that arrives before the destruction or the reconstruction becomes visible. Animals sense it first. They run before humans even know something happened. Your spirit is like that animal, chosen one. It senses what's coming before your bank account shows it. It feels the shift before your mailbox delivers it. It knows the breakthrough is near before anyone around you believes it. That unsettled feeling in your gut tonight, that's not fear of the future. That's recognition of the blessing that's already been released and is now traveling toward your address at the speed of heaven. But here's where it gets personal. Here's where this stops being theology and becomes your testimony. For months, maybe years, you've been interpreting these feelings as something negative. You've been medicating the very thing God was using to prepare you. You've been praying away the symptoms of your own breakthrough. Every time your spirit stirred, you thought, something's wrong with me. But heaven was saying, something's finally right. Every sleepless night was God keeping you awake, because angels were rearranging things in the spiritual realm, and he wanted you conscious for the transition. Every unexplained tear was your soul releasing decades of lack mentality to make room for abundance consciousness. Every moment of holy anxiety was your spirit expanding to contain what your current capacity could never hold. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" That word perceive in Hebrew is yada. It means to know intimately, to feel deeply, to sense before seeing. God has been asking you for weeks, do you not perceive it? Do you not feel what I'm doing? And you felt it. You just didn't know what you were feeling. Until now. So tonight, when sleep comes light and your chest feels stirred, when your mind races and your spirit trembles, don't fight it. Don't medicate it. Don't pray it away. Lean into it. That's your confirmation. That's heaven's way of saying the shift isn't coming. The shift is here. Your spirit is just processing the magnitude of what Saturday is about to deliver. But there's something else you need to know, chosen one. Something that will happen in the next 24 hours that will serve as your personal sign. There will be a moment tomorrow where something in your room shifts. Something small. Something others would miss. But when I explain that sign in what's coming next, you'll understand why heaven waited until this exact weekend to move on your behalf. Are you ready to discover the sign that confirms your financial shift has already begun? Now listen to me very carefully, chosen one, because what I'm about to expose will explain everything you've been feeling this week. That heaviness in your chest that showed up out of nowhere, that sudden wave of discouragement that hit you Tuesday morning for no apparent reason, that old memory from 30 years ago that suddenly replayed in your mind like a movie you never asked to watch. You thought something was wrong with you. You thought maybe you were slipping, maybe losing your faith, maybe finally breaking down after all these years of holding it together. But what if I told you that attack wasn't a sign of your weakness, it was a sign of your proximity to breakthrough? Hell never wastes ammunition on empty targets. Think about that. The enemy doesn't send his best demons after people who pose no threat. He doesn't mobilize spiritual warfare against someone who's going nowhere. He reserves his most vicious attacks for those standing on the edge of their greatest promotion. And sweetheart, you've been under fire because you're about to receive something that terrifies the kingdom of darkness. Let me show you something that will change how you see every struggle you face this month. In Matthew chapter 4, right before Jesus launched his earthly ministry, right before he performed his first miracle, called his first disciples, and began dismantling the works of the devil, what happened? Satan showed up personally, not a demon, not a principality. Satan himself came to the wilderness to tempt Jesus. Why? Because hell could smell the promotion coming. The enemy always makes his final move right before provision arrives. And I've noticed something about the warfare chosen ones experience right before financial breakthrough. It follows 3 specific patterns. 3 attacks that hit seniors harder than anyone else. And if you've experienced even one of these in the past 7 days, you need to understand what's really happening. The first pattern is sudden discouragement. You were fine on Monday. You woke up with hope. But by Wednesday, something shifted. A cloud settled over your spirit that you couldn't explain. You started questioning whether God even remembers your address, whether your prayers are hitting the ceiling, whether you've somehow disqualified yourself from the blessing you've been believing for. That discouragement didn't come from you. It was sent to you. Because the enemy knows that if he can get you to quit believing 72 hours before your miracle, you'll miss what heaven has already released. The second pattern is old memories resurfacing. Suddenly, out of nowhere, you're thinking about that business that failed in 1987, that marriage that collapsed, that investment that wiped out your savings, that moment you made a decision you've regretted for 4 decades. Why now? Why are these ancient wounds bleeding again after all these years? Because the enemy is a lawyer, beloved. And right before your case comes up in heaven's court for blessing, he's pulling out old evidence trying to disqualify you. He's whispering, remember what you did. Remember who you were. God can't bless someone with that history. But let me tell you what God says. Isaiah 43:18. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. The accuser is bringing up your past because he has no power over your future. The third pattern is fear of the future. This one hits seniors hardest of all. You start calculating, how many years do I have left? Is it too late? What if I finally receive this blessing and I'm too old to enjoy it? What if I die before I see my children walking in abundance? That fear isn't wisdom, it's warfare. The enemy is trying to convince you to forfeit your inheritance by making you believe you've run out of time. But remember Caleb, 85 years old, standing before Joshua, and what did he say? Give me this mountain. He didn't ask for a rocking chair, he asked for a conquest. Because he understood that divine timing doesn't expire with age, it activates through faith. Here's what I need you to see, chosen one. Picture a chessboard. You've been playing against an enemy who's made move after move against your finances, your peace, your family, your health. And right now, it looks like he's closing in. It looks like he's about to win. His queen is threatening. His rooks are positioned. One more move and it seems like checkmate. But here's what the enemy doesn't know. Heaven already made the winning move before the game began. Ephesians 1-4 says, you were chosen before the foundation of the world. That means your victory was secured before Satan ever positioned his first piece. What looks like his final threatening move is actually his last desperate gasp. He's not attacking because he's winning. He's attacking because he's already lost, and this Saturday's shift proves it. So when fear whispers, remember, it's confirmation. When discouragement presses, remember, it's proximity. When old memories resurface, remember, the accuser only builds cases against those about to be promoted. But I need to tell you something else before we move forward. Something that's going to unlock the next level of understanding. Many chosen ones, and I mean many, will have a specific dream the night before their financial shift arrives. A dream with a symbol so particular, so precise, that when I describe it later, you'll know heaven has been speaking to you in your sleep. When we get there, I'll explain exactly what that dream means and what you must do when you wake up. But first, you need to understand the ancient pattern that proves Saturday's shift was prophesied thousands of years ago. Now listen to me very carefully, chosen one, because what I'm about to expose will explain everything you've been feeling this week. That heaviness in your chest that showed up out of nowhere, that sudden wave of discouragement that hit you Tuesday morning for no apparent reason. That old memory from 30 years ago that suddenly replayed in your mind like a movie you never asked to watch. You thought something was wrong with you. You thought maybe you were slipping, maybe losing your faith. Maybe finally breaking down after all these years of holding it together. But what if I told you that attack wasn't a sign of your weakness? It was a sign of your proximity to breakthrough. Hell never wastes ammunition on empty targets. Think about that. The enemy doesn't send his best demons after people who pose no threat. He doesn't mobilize spiritual warfare against someone who's going nowhere. He reserves his most vicious attacks for those standing on the edge of their greatest promotion. And sweetheart, you've been under fire because you're about to receive something that terrifies the kingdom of darkness. Let me show you something that will change how you see every struggle you've faced this month. In Matthew chapter 4, right before Jesus launched his earthly ministry, right before he performed his first miracle, called his first disciples, and began dismantling the works of the devil, what happened? Satan showed up personally, not a demon, not a principality. Satan himself came to the wilderness to tempt Jesus. Why? Because hell could smell the promotion coming. The enemy always makes his final move right before provision arrives. And I've noticed something about the warfare chosen ones experience right before financial breakthrough. It follows three specific patterns. 3 attacks that hit seniors harder than anyone else. And if you've experienced even one of these in the past 7 days, you need to understand what's really happening. The first pattern is sudden discouragement. You were fine on Monday, you woke up with hope. But by Wednesday, something shifted. A cloud settled over your spirit that you couldn't explain. You started questioning whether God even remembers your address, whether your prayers are hitting the ceiling, whether you've somehow disqualified yourself from the blessing you've been believing for. That discouragement didn't come from you. It was sent to you. Because the enemy knows that if he can get you to quit believing 72 hours before your miracle, you'll miss what heaven has already released. The second pattern is old memories resurfacing. Suddenly, out of nowhere, you're thinking about that business that failed in 1987, that marriage that collapsed, that investment that wiped out your savings, that moment you made a decision you've regretted for 4 decades. Why now? Why are these ancient wounds bleeding again after all these years? Because the enemy is a lawyer, beloved, and right before your case comes up in heaven's court for blessing, he's pulling out old evidence trying to disqualify you. He's whispering, "Remember what you did. Remember who you were." God can't bless someone with that history, but let me tell you what God says. Isaiah 43:18. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. The accuser is bringing up your past because he has no power over your future. The third pattern is fear of the future. This one hits seniors hardest of all. You start calculating, how many years do I have left? Is it too late? What if I finally receive this blessing and I'm too old to enjoy it? What if I die before I see my children walking in abundance? That fear isn't wisdom, it's warfare. The enemy is trying to convince you to forfeit your inheritance by making you believe you've run out of time. But remember Caleb, 85 years old, standing before Joshua. And what did he say? "Give me this mountain." He didn't ask for a rocking chair, he asked for a conquest. Because he understood that divine timing doesn't expire with age, it activates through faith. Here's what I need you to see, chosen one. Picture a chessboard. You've been playing against an enemy who's made move after move against your finances, your peace, your family, your health. And right now, it looks like he's closing in. It looks like he's about to win. His queen is threatening. His rooks are positioned. One more move, and it seems like checkmate. But here's what the enemy doesn't know. Heaven already made the winning move before the game began. Ephesians 1-4 says, "You were chosen before the foundation of the world." That means your victory was secured before Satan ever positioned his first piece. What looks like his final threatening move is actually his last desperate gasp. He's not attacking because he's winning. He's attacking because he's already lost, and this Saturday's shift proves it. So when fear whispers, remember, it's confirmation. When discouragement presses, remember, it's proximity. When old memories resurface, remember, the accuser only builds cases against those about to be promoted. But I need to tell you something else before we move forward. Something that's going to unlock the next level of understanding. Many chosen ones, and I mean many, will have a specific dream the night before their financial shift arrives. A dream with a symbol so particular, so precise, that when I describe it later, you'll know heaven has been speaking to you in your sleep. When we get there, I'll explain exactly what that dream means and what you must do when you wake up. But first, you need to understand the ancient pattern that proves Saturday's shift was prophesied thousands of years ago. Now listen to me carefully, chosen one, because what I'm about to reveal might explain something that's been haunting your sleep for weeks. Have you been having strange dreams lately? Dreams that feel different, heavier, more vivid, almost like you're not sleeping but visiting somewhere. Dreams you can't shake when you wake up, that linger in your chest like a holy weight you can't name. That's not your medication, that's not anxiety, that's not your mind playing tricks on an aging brain. That's heaven delivering mail to your subconscious. You see, beloved, God has always spoken to his chosen ones through the night. Joel 2:28 declares it plainly, "Your old men shall dream dreams, not your young men, your old men, your seasoned saints, your silver-haired warriors who've walked with God long enough to recognize His voice, even when it comes wrapped in symbols and shadows." But here's what breaks my heart. Most seniors wake up from these prophetic downloads and dismiss them. They shake it off. They tell themselves it was just a weird dream from that leftover meatloaf, and they miss the very message heaven was trying to deliver before their miracle arrives. Not you, not today, not anymore. I'm going to show you 3 dream patterns that God often sends the night before a major financial shift. If you've experienced even one of these in the past month, pay close attention, because heaven has been trying to prepare you for what's coming this Saturday. The first pattern: rising water. Have you dreamed of water lately? Not drowning, but water rising around you, lifting you, surrounding your house, flooding in but somehow not destroying. That's not a nightmare, sweetheart. That's prophecy. In Scripture, water represents the Spirit of God and increase. Ezekiel 47 describes a river flowing from God's temple that starts at the ankles, rises to the knees, then the waist, until it becomes a river too deep to cross. And everywhere that water went, everything lived, everything flourished, everything multiplied. Your rising water dream isn't warning you of destruction. It's announcing that increase is coming so fast, so abundant, that your current containers won't be able to hold it. The blessing is rising, chosen one. Can you feel it lapping at your ankles even now? The second pattern: repairing something old. Have you dreamed of fixing things, mending a broken fence, patching a roof, repairing furniture that's been damaged for years, restoring a house you haven't lived in since childhood? Oh, beloved, do you know what God is showing you? Isaiah 61:4 speaks directly to this. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. That dream of restoration isn't random nostalgia. It's God announcing that what was broken in your finances, what's been damaged for decades, what you thought could never be fixed, is about to be restored. That pension you lost? Restoration is coming. That inheritance that was stolen? Restoration is coming. That retirement you watched crumble in 2008, in 2020, every time you thought you were finally secure. God is saying, I'm about to repair what life destroyed. The dream of mending isn't about the past. It's about what God is preparing to do in your present. The third pattern: keys, letters, or envelopes. This one will shake you to your core. Have you dreamed of someone handing you keys, of finding letters in your mailbox, of opening envelopes that contain something important, something you can't quite read but know matters deeply? Listen to what Jesus said in Revelation 3:7. What He opens, no one can shut, and what He shuts, no one can open. Keys represent access. Letters represent communication from heaven. Envelopes represent provision that's been sealed, protected, waiting for the appointed time to be delivered. If you've dreamed of receiving any of these, God is telling you something that should make you weep. Access is being granted. Doors that have been locked against your finances for 40, 50, 60 years are about to swing open. The provision that's been held in heaven's vault, sealed with your name on it, is being prepared for delivery. And the delivery date? This Saturday. But here's what most people don't understand about prophetic dreams, and this is crucial. The dream isn't the blessing, it's the announcement. It's heaven's way of saying, wake up, pay attention, something is coming, and I need you ready to receive it. Think about Joseph. He didn't just dream of sheaves bowing down and stars falling at his feet. He had to walk through a pit, through slavery, through prison, and then he had to be awake and ready when Pharaoh called for an interpreter. The dream came years before the fulfillment, but Joseph had to be positioned to receive what heaven had shown him. Your dreams have been positioning you. Every strange vision, every vivid night journey, every morning you woke up feeling like you'd been somewhere holy, it was all preparation. But here's the question that will determine everything. What happens after the dream? Do you dismiss it and return to the routine of lack? Or do you recognize it as heaven's notification that your financial shift is scheduled, sealed, and on its way? Because the dream was just the announcement, chosen one. What comes next is the instruction that activates the blessing. And if you're not prepared to receive it, the provision will pass you by like a letter delivered to the wrong address. Stay with me. What I'm about to reveal will show you exactly how to position yourself before Saturday's sunrise, because heaven doesn't just send dreams to entertain you. Heaven sends dreams to mobilize you. And your mobilization begins right now. Now listen to me carefully. Chosen one, because what I'm about to tell you could be the difference between receiving your Saturday shift and watching it pass you by like every other blessing that got lost on the way to your door. The battle for your financial breakthrough doesn't begin when the bank opens. It doesn't start when you check your mailbox or answer that phone call from the collection agency. The war for your wealth is won or lost in the first 3 hours after you open your eyes. Let me ask you something that might sting. What's the first thing you do when you wake up tomorrow morning? Do you reach for your phone and check your bank balance before you check your faith? Do you scroll through bills before you scroll through scripture? Do you inventory your problems before you inventory your promises? Be honest with yourself right now, because the enemy has been studying your morning routine for decades. He knows exactly when you're most vulnerable. And I'm going to tell you something that will shock you. Satan doesn't attack you at noon when you're strong. He attacks you at 6 a.m. when you're still half asleep, still groggy, still trying to remember why you should keep fighting. The psalmist understood this warfare. In Psalm 5:3, David declared, "In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning I lay my requests before you and wait expectantly." Did you catch that? David didn't say he checked his problems in the morning. He said he laid his requests before God and waited expectantly. When was the last time you woke up expectant instead of exhausted? There are 3 traps the enemy sets every single morning to steal your Saturday shift before it ever arrives. And beloved, if you've been falling into these traps, it explains why breakthrough keeps circling your block but never parks in your driveway. The first trap is negative self-talk. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Your feet haven't even touched the cold floor yet, and already the voices start. Nothing's going to change. You're too old. You've missed too many opportunities. God blessed other people, but he forgot about you. Those whispers feel like your own thoughts, but they're not. That's the enemy reading your history back to you, trying to make you believe your past is your prophecy. But Isaiah 43:18-19 demolishes that lie. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? God is asking you directly, can you perceive what I'm doing? Or are you too busy rehearsing what I didn't do? The second trap is fear of the unknown. You've been living in survival mode so long that abundance actually terrifies you. What if God blesses you and you can't handle it? What if the shift comes and you're not ready? What if you finally receive what you've been praying for and it changes everything? Let me tell you something, sweetheart. Fear of blessing is still fear. And 2 Timothy 1:7 reminds us, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That anxiety you feel about the unknown isn't wisdom, it's warfare. The enemy wants you more afraid of breakthrough than you are of staying broke. The third trap, and this one is devastating, is checking bills before checking faith. How many mornings have you woken up and immediately calculated what you owe before you calculated what you're owed by heaven? You've trained yourself to audit your lack before you audit your inheritance. But Matthew 6:33 gives us the divine order. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. First, not second, not after you've worried yourself sick. First. Here's what I need you to understand about Saturday's shift. The sun doesn't burst through darkness instantly. It doesn't explode over the horizon in one dramatic moment. No, it pushes the night back inch by inch, degree by degree, until suddenly you look up and realize the whole sky has changed. Your financial shift works the same way. It starts in those first 3 hours. It starts with what you speak over yourself before your coffee is ready. It starts with whether you greet the morning with faith or with fear. The shift doesn't arrive in your mailbox, beloved. It arrives in your mouth. It arrives in your mindset. It arrives in those sacred moments when no one is watching except the God who never sleeps. So here's your prophetic assignment for Saturday morning. Before your feet touch the floor, I want you to speak these words out loud. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. My shift has arrived. My blessing recognizes my address. What God has for me will not pass me by. Speak it before you feel it. Declare it before you see it. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That heaviness you feel when you wake up, that emotional weight that makes you want to pull the covers over your head and give up, that's not depression, dear one. That's spiritual recalibration. That's your soul being repositioned for increase. Don't run from the weight. Push through it. Because on the other side of that morning, heaviness is a breakthrough that's been waiting for you since before time began. If you're ready for that sunrise, if you're ready to change how you greet the morning, comment right now, my morning is changing. But beloved, the morning is only the beginning. What happens next will determine whether you keep your shift or lose it before lunch. And what I'm about to reveal will show you why most people receive their blessing on Saturday but lose it by Sunday. Chosen one, as we come to the end of this sacred time together, I need you to carry 3 unshakable truths with you into Saturday and beyond. First, this financial shift is not a wish, it's an appointment. God has been orchestrating your breakthrough since before you took your first breath. Every delay, every disappointment, every moment you thought heaven forgot your address was actually divine positioning. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. And this Saturday, what was hidden in the heavens is finally being released on earth. Second, your age is not your disqualification, it's your qualification. Moses was 80 when he led a nation. Abraham was 100 when he held his promise. Sarah was 90 when she laughed at the impossible and then birthed it. Your gray hair isn't a sign that you've missed your moment. It's proof that you've been seasoned for something so significant that God needed decades to prepare you for it. Third, the shift doesn't arrive in your circumstances first, it arrives in your spirit. What you speak over yourself Saturday morning, what you believe before your eyes see evidence, what you declare before your bank account confirms it, that's where breakthrough begins. Faith is the currency of heaven, and you've been making deposits your entire life. This Saturday, the interest comes due. But beloved, I need you to know something deeper than knowledge, something that settles into your bones and never leaves. You are not walking this road alone. The same God who parted the Red Sea is parting obstacles in your life right now. The same God who provided manna in the wilderness is providing for you in ways you cannot yet see. The same God who raised Jesus from the dead is raising dead dreams, dead finances, and dead hope in your life as I speak these words. And beyond God's presence, you have a community right here. Thousands of chosen ones just like you, carrying the same burdens, fighting the same battles, believing for the same breakthroughs. We are not strangers connected by a screen. We are family connected by faith. And this family prays for each other. So let me ask you one final question, and let it sink deep into your spirit. Now that you know what God has scheduled for Saturday, now that you understand how to position yourself to receive it, now that you've been given the keys to unlock what heaven has already released, what will you do with this revelation? Will you go back to the old patterns, the old fears, the old morning routines that kept you circling the runway? Or will you finally land in the abundance that's been waiting for you since before time began? Before I release you into your destiny, I want to pray over you. Right now, wherever you are in your living room, in your bedroom, in your car, I want you to place your hand over your heart. Let me stand with you in the Spirit and speak directly over your life. Heavenly Father, I come before your throne right now, carrying every precious soul who has stayed with me through this entire message. Lord, you see them. You know their names. You've counted every tear they've cried over unpaid bills. You've heard every prayer whispered at 3 a.m. when they wondered if you still remembered their address. God, I ask you right now, shift their finances. Not next year, not next month, this Saturday. Let unexpected checks arrive. Let forgotten debts be cancelled. Let opportunities find them that they never applied for. Let heaven's economy override earth's limitations in their lives. Father, for the one who's been faithful for decades without seeing the harvest, release the harvest now. For the one who's been sowing seeds with tears, let them reap with joy. For the one who almost gave up yesterday, but somehow found the strength to press play on this video today, remind them that their perseverance has been recorded in heaven and their payday is here. Protect them, Lord. Cover their minds from doubt. Guard their hearts from fear. Station angels around their homes, their bank accounts, their families. Let no weapon formed against their Saturday shift prosper. Give them peace that passes understanding. Give them rest that comes from knowing you're in control. Give them boldness to speak faith over their finances, even when everything they see says otherwise. And Father, let them feel your hand on their shoulder right now. Let them know they are loved beyond measure, valued beyond calculation, and destined for abundance beyond imagination. In the mighty name of Jesus, who became poor so we could become rich, I seal this prayer over their lives. Amen and amen. Now, beloved, I have one request. If this message has stirred something in your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Share it in the comments below. Tell us what God spoke to your heart. Ask for prayer over your specific situation. Let this community surround you with intercession. And please, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. There's a friend, a family member, a neighbor who's been struggling in silence, wondering if God has forgotten them. You could be the vessel that carries this word into their life at exactly the right moment. Thank you from the deepest place in my heart for staying with me through this entire journey. Your time is precious, and you chose to invest it here. That tells me everything I need to know about the hunger in your heart for more of God. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell. Every week, we gather here as a family of chosen ones, receiving fresh words for fresh seasons. Don't miss what God has next for you. Remember, chosen one, your shift has already been scheduled. Saturday is on the calendar of heaven, and the God who began a good work in you is faithful to complete it. Go in peace, go in power, go in the unshakable confidence that your breakthrough is not coming, it's already here. Until we meet again, keep your eyes on Jesus, your heart open to his voice, and your hands ready to receive what heaven is releasing. You are loved, you are chosen, and your best days are not behind you, they're waiting for you this Saturday. God bless you mightily, beloved. Now go and walk in your shift.